everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. My name is Yhinka. In today's class we're going to be making this beautiful and unique bubu dress. This bubu dress is having sleeve. All right, so I'm going to be teaching you how to make it in today's tutorial. For this tutorial you're going to be needing 6 yards of Ankara fabric with your head tie. All right, this tie is having beautiful decoration on the neckline. You can buy that in the market. That particular one on the picture look something like this. It is sold in the market usually, so you can just buy and attach on the neckline. I don't know if I should use this one, but I already bought the neck piece that I'm going to be attaching to mine. This is it, this gorgeous piece. So I bought it. This is what I intend using for the tutorial. I got this for $4.5 in the market, but what they use on the neckline is just all these trimmings that they sell, so you can just buy in the market. I don't know if I should use this. This looks so close to that was used on the picture, so I don't know if I should use this. Oh, I should just use the neck piece that I bought. I think this neck piece that I bought is going to be more beautiful. I'm using this Ankara fabric, by the way, so I don't know if I should use this on the neckline. Wow, I think it looks good. Oh, this. Which one do you think I should use? I think I'll just go with the neck piece that I bought. So basically that's all that you need for the tutorial. Your fabric, your thread, and the accessory on the neckline. And that's just it. Alright, so I'm going to be showing you how to do it now. So let's get right into the tutorial. If you're new to this channel, please kindly take a moment to subscribe, and to my old subscriber, you are all welcome back. I love you. Please don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can be notified anytime I upload a new tutorial if you have not done so, and always ensure to give me thumbs up. So just click the like button as we're talking, and let's go straight into the tutorial. For this tie today, you're going to be needing your shoulder to nipple points measurements, your shoulder to waist length, your shoulder to your hip line, and then the length of your gown. You'll be needing your bust circumference measurements, your waist circumference measurements, your hip circumference measurements, and that's just the basic measurements you need. But because you know it's a bubu dress, for each bubu dress, anytime we're making a bubu dress, we always measure from our center back to our desired sleeve length. So you're going to be taking that measurement also. So the bubu dress is going to be having sleeves, but before the sleeves you need to measure where you want the bubu itself to stop. All right, so from the center back you're going to measure down to your desired sleeve length. And for this tutorial today I'm going to be using 16. From the center back I'll measure down 16. I want 16 from the center back to my desired sleeve length to be 16. All right, then again you need to measure your sleeve measurement. So for the sleeve itself, you need to measure from the tip of the shoulder like this, then you measure down to the length you want for the sleeve. In my own case, I'll be making need to be 19 inches. So I'll be having a 3/4 sleeve. Your fabric, you're going to be cutting twice your length measurement with your seam allowance. So I'm going to be cutting out, my total gown length is 60 inches. So from my fabric, I'm going to be cutting out 60 inches 2 times with my allowance. So I'll cut out 60 inches 2 times with 4 inches for my allowance. So 60 inches, then another 60 inches, then with my seam allowance. Then I'm going to be cutting this out. So this is twice my gown length measurement with my seam allowance. So what I'm going to do is for me to fold it into 2. You're going to be folding it on the good side because it's a bubu dress. This part here is unfold, this upper part is unfold. Then you fold it again into 4 this way, and then you're going to place it on your table. This part is unfold and here also is unfold. So here is going to be your shoulder and your sleeve length, and here is going to be your center front as well as your center back. All right, so the next thing you need to do now is for you to input your vertical measurements. So it's a long bubu. So there will be no guideline, so you start your measurement from the beginning of the fabric here. From here you measure down your nipple point. My nipple point is 10.5. I'll measure 10.5. Then my waist length is 17. My hip line, and then the length of your gown with your seam allowance. So my gown length is 60, and then the remaining length is my seam allowance. You know, I bring it out with my gown length with my seam allowance. All right, so you extend the line. If you're making yours, don't extend the lines too much because you don't want to soil the good side of your fabric. This is the good side, so you don't want to spoil it with too much shock. All right, but I'm going to be extending it anyways. So this is my nipple points, this is my waist length, and this is my hip line. So the next thing you will do on your nipple point line, you will input your bust circumference measurements divided by 4 plus ease of 1 inch. This type of bubu is very free, it's not snug to your body. So my bust circumference is 40 divided by 4, that will be 10. Then I'll add my ease of 1 inch, so that will be 11. I'm going to measure 11 here. Then I'll come to my waist length. I will input my waist circumference measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch ease. My waist circumference is 32 divided by 4, that will be 8 inches. Then plus 1 inch ease, that will be 9. So I'll put 9 on my waistline, 9 inches. Then I'll come to my hip line. I will input my hip circumference measurements divided by 4 plus 1. My hip circumference is 42 divided by 4, that will be 10.5 plus 1 inch ease, that will be 11.5. So I'll put 11.5 on this hip line. Then I'll connect these points together. So I'll connect it together like that. Then at the hem line, I'm going to input whatever I have here on the hip line. I'm going to add extra 3 inches to it for easy movement. So, and I'll put it at the hem line. That's going to be, so here I have 11.5 plus 3 inches, that will be 14.5. So I'll put 14.5 at the hem line. Then from the hip line, I'll connect it to this point. So this is it. The next thing you will do is to transfer this choke to the other side. So you just insert pin inside this line all the way down. Then you flip your fabric to the other side and connect your pins. So I've pushed in pins, so I'll flip the fabric this way. Then I'll connect my pins together. So this is it. You may not see it, but I can see it from here. So that's it. We are done transferring the shocking to the other side. So the next thing you're going to do now is for you to measure from the center front. You measure your center back measurement to your desired sleeve length, and like I said, I'm going to be making that to be 16 inches. So I'll mark the 16 inches like this. Can you see? Then I'm going to gradually connect it back to the side. So gradually with a slight curve, just blend it back like you're making a circle. So like this, just connect it back to the side like this. Can you see? So you're going to be cutting this part out. Then again, the next thing you're going to do, you come to the hemline. You're going to be creating a curve at the hemline. It's going to be like a curve. So from the hemline, from this tip of the hemline, just come inside by 5 inches. Come inside by 5 inches like this, and then create a curve this way, and also blend it back to the side same like this. Then you're going to be cutting this part out because you need this round shape. Can you see? From here to here is your center back to your desired sleeve length. Then from that point, just blend it back to the side. You can see the excess here. So from here, just blend it back to this point here. Just blend it back. Then move the fabric upward like this in an angle from where your measurement stop here. Come inside by 5 inches, and then from that 5 inches, create a curve to the side and also to the hemline like this. Just a curve. You're going to be trimming that part off. We no longer need that part. So this is it. The next thing now is to input our neckline. So from the picture is a boat neckline, but I'm going to be doing a round neckline because I want to put that neckline that I bought. So I'm going to be doing 4.5 by 4.5. Four and a half by 4.5. Then I'm going to be cutting it out. I'll notch this place, and I'll also notch here. Can we see? So this is it. It's ready. We are done cutting. So this is my nipple point line. Please kindly notch it as well, so that by the time we are putting the sleeve, we will know where the sleeve will stop. This is my nipple point line. I will also notch that point. All right, so the bubu is ready, but then we need to cut out our sleeve. My sleeve length is going to be 19 inches, so I'm going to be cutting a pencil sleeve. Then there will be some pleats on the pencil sleeve. All right, so I need to calculate something first. I want my sleeve length to be 19 inches, and that 19 inches, we need to subtract some things from it because the sleeve is not going to start at the tip of the shoulder. Rather, it's going to start 2 inches above where the bubu sleeve is going to stop. So in that case, you're going to minus the distance from the tip of the, we normally measure sleeve from the tip of the shoulder. So you measure that distance from here to here away from your sleeve length. So I'll just do that from the fabric. So I'll bring back my neckline. This is my neckline, so that it will not be confusing for us. This is my neckline. I fix it back. So from the tip here, I'll measure my shoulder. My shoulder is 8 inches. So I'll mark that point like this. Then I'll come to where the bubu sleeve stops here. I'll come inside by 2 inches. I'll come inside here by 2 inches like this. All right. So from this my shoulder to this point, I'm going to measure it. Whatever it gives me, I'm going to subtract it from my sleeve length. So here I have exactly 6.5 inches. I have 6.5 inches. So from my sleeve, I'm going to subtract 6.5 inches. My sleeve length to be 19 inches. So if I subtract 6.5 from it, that will be 12.5. So the remaining length of my sleeve is going to be 12.5. But we still need seam allowance. So I'm going to be adding 2 inches seam allowance to that 12.5. So it's going to be 14.5. 14.5. So my sleeve length now is 14.5. Hope the explanation is clear. So I'll just remove this. And yeah, that's it. The bubu cutting is ready. So I'll move to the sleeve now. So I'm going to fold my fabric into 4. Then the length of my sleeve, we already calculated it. I want it to be 14.5. So this is 14.5. Then I'll rule it. So for you to know the amount of the fold over like this, you need your shoulder to nipple length. Your shoulder to nipple length with ½ inch allowance. So my shoulder to nipple is 10.5. If I add ½ inch to it, that will be 11. So I will ensure I have 11 here. I have 11 here, like this. From here to here is my shoulder to nipple distance plus ½ inch. All right, this is what is here. Then you come to this M line, you input your round sleeve measurements. You input your round sleeve measurements. My round sleeve here is 11. If I divide by 2, that will be 5.5. So I will measure 5.5. Then I'll add ½ inch seam allowance to it. I have to connect from here to this place. Can you see? Like this. Alright, so the next thing you are going to be doing now is for you to cut it out. The sleeve is ready, but the sleeve is going to be having some pleats. It's going to be having some pleats. So you need to determine the distance you want for the pleats and all of that. So this is the base of the sleeve. The base of the sleeve is ready. So I'm going to be cutting it out. Even if it's flare you want to add at this stage, you can add flare. Anything you want to do now is just for you to bring out the base. And this is what I've done. Even if you want it to be pencil, it's still the same thing. Like this one that I'm showing here, I just insert a pencil sleeve, just a basic pencil sleeve. This is the pencil sleeve that we already cut it out now. But then it's going to have some pleats, like layer. So we are going to be putting the layer on this one. All right, so just cut this out first. Don't forget to notch these points. All right, so this is the sleeve. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to determine how I want my pleats. You know, it's going to have pleats. So determine the distance you want for the pleats. The pleats is not so clear on the picture, but it looks like it's 3 steps to me. I don't know if it's less than that, but I'm going to be doing 3 steps. So I will measure how I want it to be. So I'll open it. If you open it, you have 2 pieces, one for each of the hand. The first thing now is for you to determine the length of your pleats. So your pleat is going to start 2 inches below this line. So measure from here, measure 2 inches downward and rule it. Make sure you put the line on the good side of the fabric, because the pleat is going to be on the good side of the fabric. Then from this point now, I want the pleats to be 3 steps. So from this point, I'll measure 2.5 inches downward. 2.5 inches downward. I'll rule another line. Then from here again, I'll measure another 2.5 inches. 2.5, and I'll rule it. So the first pleat will be here, the second one here, and the third one here. Then for you to determine how wide the fabric is going to be, you measure whatever you have here, you multiply it by 2.5 or 3, depending on how you want it, or you can do 2. So the length of my pleat is going to be 5 inches. Then the width of the pleat is going to be twice the circumference of this place. So here I'll just measure this line. Here I have 21 inches. 21 multiplied by 2, that will be 42 inches. So I'll cut out fabric that measure 42 inches in width, and then the length will be 5 inches. Like I said, I want the length of the pleats to be 5 inches, but I'm going to be adding 1 inch allowance to it so that I can fold them out. So that will be 6 inches. So I'll cut 6 inches length, then the width will be 42 inches. The width will be 42 inches. Then I'm going to cut out 3 for each of the sleeve, so that will be 6 in all. So I'll cut out 3 for this side of the sleeve and 3 for this other side of the sleeve, so that will be 6 in all. Then the length will be 6 inches, the width will be 42 inches. So I'll cut a long strip of fabric that measure 42 inches in width, and the length will be 6 inches, and I'm going to cut 6 pieces. I'm going to cut 6 pieces out. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. First thing I'm going to do is for me to go to the sewing machine. I'll hem the bottom part of my sleeve. I'll hem the bottom part, and I'll also hem the bottom part of the pieces that I cut out. And then when I'm done, I'm going to be pleating it on the line. It's going to be upside down. You pleat it this way so that at the end of the day it's going to be like this. Do you understand? So I'll go ahead, I'll do that. So this is the upper part of the sleeve, and the pleat is going to be on the goose side. So you match the fabric together, place it on top of it like this, right side to right side, right side to right side. Then you make your pleat here. By the time you're done making the pleat will be facing down. All right, so you do it for each of the layers. This is my line. I'll place my pleat on top of it, right side to right side. You can see this is the right side. I shook it, so I'll just place on top of this line this way. This is it. I'm done with the pleats, and you repeat the same thing to the second side. A neckline. So I try to adjust my neckline to the neckline of the cape. So I just trim just a little out of it so that it can match up with the neck of the cape. Only in front. Only in front. So this is it. So what I'll do next is for me to first use my bias and finish the neckline. Then when I'm done with that, I'm going to also use bias to finish the side, this wing. I'll use my bias to finish it. I'll pipe it all around. First thing, if you know, we notch this shoulder tip and also this neckline tip. We also do the same thing to the second side. It's notched. So the next thing I'm going to do now is for me to open it and turn it to the wrong side. So this notching that you have at the shoulder tip, this is one, and this is the one at the neckline. So just use your ruler and connect the two of them, roll it straight so that you can know the center. So I've rolled it on both sides. So the next thing I'm going to do is for me to take to the sewing machine, and I'm going to pipe the wing. I'll be piping the wing with my bias all around the wing side. Just pipe it with your bias, and then the hem line of the bubu, you're going to be folding it. So this is the hem line. So you're going to be folding the hem line. Just fold it with the number of allowance that you added. So the first thing I'm going to do is to hem the bottom part of my bubu dress. So fold once, and then you fold again this way, and then you are going to make your stitch. Place your bias on the right side this way, and then you're going to stitch it all around the wing. When you're done, you turn it to the wrong side, and then you top stitch. You turn the bias to the wrong side, and then you top stitch the bias. So I'll be finishing the neckline with my bias strip. So you place the bias on the right side of the neckline and you stitch all around the neckline. So you turn the fabric to the wrong side. So this is the shoulder part of the bubu. So what you need to do first is to, from this point, measure 2 inches inward, 2 inches inward like this. So this is 2 inches. Then you bring your sleeve. This is my sleeve here, and you know we already have notching at the center of the sleeve. So place the sleeve. The right side of the sleeve will be facing this wrong side. So just place the sleeve this way. Can you see? Place it this way. So from here to here is 2 inches. So place the notching. This is the notching here, the center of the sleeve. This is the center of the sleeve. Match the center of the sleeve to that 2 inches above the line, like this, to this point. Mash it together. The right side of the sleeve will be facing the wrong side of the bubu. So place it together. Let the notch align with the line that we rule here. So from the center, pin it to the right, and then you pin it to the left. Next thing you do now is for you to take to the sewing machine, and then you stitch this sleeve together with the bubu with 1/2 inch here, from one end to the other end. Then you repeat the same thing to the second side. From where your wing stops here at this sleeve, come in by 2 inches, make a mark, place the sleeve. Ensure you align the notching of the sleeve, the center of the sleeve. Match it with the line that you have here at that 2 inches point, like this. Then you pin the sleeve to the left and also to the right. Don't forget the right side of your sleeve. The right side of your sleeve is facing the wrong side of the bubu. So before you start stitching, you leave 1/2 inch. You leave 1/2 inch. Then you stitch. When you're about to finish the stitch of the sleeve, you also leave 1/2 inch. That's going to be your seam allowance for closing the sleeve. All right, so just leave 1/2 inch before you start making your stitch. Leave 1/2 inch. That's your seam allowance, so you leave it. So when you're about to get to the other end of the sleeve also, you also leave 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch. So you repeat the same step to the second side. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to attach my neck piece. And to do that is very easy. You just place the neck piece on top of the neckline, like this. I'm just going to be using my uhu gum to gum into the neckline. I'll use my uhu gum to gum into the neckline. Because it's having stones and all of that. Maybe it's not having all these things at the edges, you can stitch it. But because it's having all those things, you have to glue it down. So that's what I'm going to do. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to close the side of the sleeve. So fold your fabric back to the wrong side, and then you're going to be closing the side of your sleeve, only your sleeve. So match the two sides of the sleeve together like this, and then you close the side of the sleeve. You ensure you are not going to catch your bubu. Don't catch your bubu, just stitch the sleeve together with 1/2 inch. We left 1/2 inch for the stitch, so sew it with that 1/2 inch. Then you do the same thing to the second side. So match the two raw edge of the sleeve together like this, the way I'm showing you here. Can you see? Then you stitch together with 1/2 inch. We added 1/2 inch allowance, so you're going to sew with the 1/2 inch allowance. Ensure you align your pleats very well as well at the side. Can you see? You can see that we left 1/2 inch here, so just close it together that way. Don't catch your bubu, only sew on your sleeve. All right, so I'm done closing one side. So I've closed the side of the sleeve. Can you see? I've closed the side of the sleeve. So the next thing you're going to do now is to turn it to the right side. So you turn it to the good side. So when you turn it to the good side, this is it. The next thing you do is just to take it back to the sewing machine, and then you're going to close the side of the bubu from the right side. You know, we already put shock when we were cutting it, so just follow your shocked line. Mine is still showing, so just follow your shocked line and close the side all the way down to the hem of the dress. Just follow your shocked line and close it, and that's it. Your bubu will be ready. And that's the end of the class for today. If you have not subscribed to this channel yet, please kindly subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can be notified anytime I upload a new tutorial. And kindly give the video a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. See, if you wear this type of clothes, okay, let me tell you, you don't need to do bra, okay? It's rich madam's clothes, like, you know, rich auntie.